Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Thomas K.R. Stovall, and today what I'm walking y'all through is part 5 of the funnel creation overview, the infrastructure part of my breakdown of the launch that I did. I've shared with y'all in the previous videos, did a $57,000 launch, partnered with a couple guys out of New Orleans on a new program that they were introducing, a lower ticket kind of university training model, um, along with sunsetting or ending the existing version of their more mastermind type of programs. It's $3,000 for 3 quarters, change the price point to $10,000 for a year, and changed around some of the terms and the way that people engage. But long story short, partnered with these guys. I primarily architected the offers, the pricing structure, the narrative, et cetera, et cetera. So I've been walking through what that campaign looked like and what the details behind the red curtain were for being able to create that launch. No ads, existing audience, warm network launch. So there's a way to do these things where if you've got an engaged group of people, it doesn't even have to be a huge list. You can produce some pretty good launch revenue, multiple 4 figures or 5 figures, multiple 5 figures, and in some cases 6 figures, and anywhere from a couple days to a couple weeks from start to finish. So right now, I'm going to walk y'all through, excuse me, I'm going to walk y'all through the internal stuff, the stuff that I love, but a lot of people's eyes glaze over. But I'm trying to tell y'all the dollars are in the details. So I'm going to walk you through the tags and the custom fields and how we use them. All right. So first things first, let me go ahead and share my screen so y'all can see what I'm doing. Okay, share screen. Okay, the first place we're going to start is ActiveCampaign. Now here in ActiveCampaign and the section for tags, you can see that there's a number of tags that we've got here. And whenever we're starting a new campaign, we create a lot of different tags that allow us to kind of like hyper segment the actions and the categories that our leads as well as our purchases fit in. And so this is what some of those tags look like. Um, Now, what I want to show y'all is the actual submission form. I think I closed that. Hold on a second. Let me open that up. Pause my screen for a second. All right. So what y'all are seeing now is this is inside of Gravity Forms on the website that we use to launch these programs or to do the launch. So the form that was dedicated to the launch was this one right here, which was submitted alert list form, launch. I'm going to go down to ActiveCampaign. And when I log in here, ActiveCampaign is our CRM, our customer relationship management system that we use pretty much across all sites. Now, when we scroll down here, this is the actual list. Okay, these are all the details. So I'm going to pop down here to this part for ActiveCampaign. And let's edit this. I had the wrong edit button before. This is the actual form submission. So whenever we're labeling a form, naming convention is important. And I try to name my feeds and my forms and my tags all with the same exact naming convention, along with the automation that's going to follow this up, all the exact same naming convention. So there's no confusion as to what's happening. A lot of people are really sloppy with their form names and stuff like that. I tend to be very detailed. I want naming convention to be very clear. So this is for Activate Your Vision University. And this is for somebody who submitted the alert list form during launch. So there's no way to confuse this. And I always like to add the action submitted form. And when we scroll, that's the feed name. When we scroll down here to the actual tag, excuse me, to the actual tag, sorry about that, y'all. The name on this tag is going to be the same as the name on the submission. Okay. Now, in this case, I'm going to grab this tag right here, and let's pop over to ActiveCampaign. Now we're in ActiveCampaign here. This is the tag section of ActiveCampaign. We're in contacts, under tags, and you can see that there's a number of different tags that are in here. So I'm going to search for this particular tag, and I'm pretty sure it's down here. Yeah. So this one has 240 people that went into it. For this particular tag, this was specifically for that alert list right up until we launched. So all we were doing with that particular list is when people submit, it would grab their information, forward them directly to the Facebook page. And now we've got the contacts who we can actively follow up with during the actual campaign. And we were writing those emails literally day by day as we could see how people were responding, taking feedback, taking narratives, and putting them up. So we didn't, for this one, attach any automations to that first alert list. But once we get into the day-to-day campaign after the launch, that's when we actually switch from an alert list to an access list, which I explained on a different video during this breakdown. So this is the tagging. Tags are good for being able to bulk categorize people. So 240 people submitted the alert list, submitted the form for the alert list. Okay, so if we want to send to all 240 people at any given time, that's what tags are good for. Big groupings of people who've taken some action or not taking some action. Now, the difference between a tag and a custom field is we look down here at, excuse me, this right here, custom fields, a lot of people don't actually use them, and that's the way that you get down to behaviors at the individual user level, right? Again, tags are at the group level. Custom fields are at the individual user level. The way that you get down to that level is by using custom fields. And custom fields allow you to do stuff like add on the individual user profile. Thomas K.R. Stovall submitted the AYV University launch list form on January what day is this? January the 14th at 1:10 a.m. Now that action is tied directly to my profile. And secondarily, we create, excuse me, another custom field that says the number of days since Thomas K.R. Stovall submitted that form is X. So this isn't creating the automation. This is just creating the space for that value to be appended to my particular user profile again and again and again. And after this is done, we create an automation. Now, this is for every single form on our site. It's our standard operating procedure. Anytime we create a form, we always create the tag for the people who submitted that form group. Then we create individual user level custom fields, track date that form was submitted by that person, by any person, and the number of days since that form was submitted. And then we create an automation that creates a counter that just resets every 24 hours and adds one more day to this value of the number of days since submitted. Now, when you do that, it allows you to do really interesting things like if, in an automation, if, excuse me, anyone who has the tag of submitted alert list form and the number of days since they've submitted that form equals, let's call it 3 or more, and they don't have the tag for purchased products, AYV University, then send them this email. Okay, so when you want to start to get into hyper segmentation based on what actions that people haven't taken that are qualified, number of days that they've been inside of certain funnels, segments, etc., custom fields are how you do that. And again, most people don't use custom fields. They don't know how to use custom fields. But this is when you want to start talking to people and having to feel like, man, they really know me. They're talking to me and only me. Custom fields, how you do that. All right, so moving on, Thrivecart is the system that we use for checkout. Okay, so now I'm going to take one of these offers. This is the Activate Your Vision University, the $797 per year offer. It's the standard kind of baseline offer after launch. That's day to day. So let's take a look at it. I'm going to show y'all what's in the background of this particular offer. And some of y'all might be surprised to see the level of detail that goes into it. So starting high level, you got your options for how you're going to name this, how you're going to label it. Again, I try to be pretty consistent with the way that we name stuff. It's always going to be product, colon. It's going to be the short name that we have for this particular product or program in the system, whether it's a annual thing or one-time fee, and the price point. Now let's go to pricing. As you can see, you can set the pricing for how it pans out. So if it's a one-time fee, if it's a recurring, you can set year one is this dollar amount, and then yearly payments are this dollar amount. If it's year one, $797, then yearly payments of $147 after that. Thrivecart gives you a lot of different robust functionality to be able to set parameters for exactly how you want those offers to go year one. After that, if you want trial periods, et cetera. That's what I meant by Kajabi. Their checkout system is not sophisticated. It's super, super basic, which if you're just starting out is fine. But when you get to the point where you want to do some more kind of high level stuff and bake in a little bit more dynamic strategy, you're going to need to have a separate checkout software like a Thrivecart or whatever you use that's going to allow you to do stuff that's a little bit more high level. So let's move next. We got your bump. Now we don't have a bump on this product. We do have a bumps on a lot of our other products and in my other businesses that are a little bit more seasoned, where we are attaching an ebook bump for $21 or a PDF download bump for an extra $7 or $14, whatever it might be. Your order bumps start to get to your average order value, and that's how you begin to make more money on offers. It's not always about the first money you make. You want to just add a bump, add an upsell. So by the time they get through buying something, if the thing was $147, maybe they're out the door for $347. Maybe they're out the door for $297. So you just want to kind of bump up that order value, and a bump, distinct from an upsell, is one way to do it. A bump is something that just shows right on the checkout page, and they can just check the box for it or not. You want to just add this quick thing for extra $20. They check it, it's in. Versus an upsell is like they get to a whole nother page and there may be a video, there may be some context, some more detail. An upsell is a little bit more detailed. You can add upsells and downsells and all that stuff here in Thrivecart too. For your processors, then you get to choose Authorize.net, PayPal, or Stripe. And their company, they use Stripe for now. I'm probably going to recommend that they get off of Stripe because it's again, simple, easy to start. But when you're doing big numbers, a lot of times Stripe can put freezes or holds on your account for no apparent reason. It's at one point, Stripe was holding about $50,000 of revenue from our property preservation stream of income, those courses, for no reason. We had literally 6 chargebacks out of 6,000 transactions. It was so low, and just out of nowhere, they decided, hey, we're going to just have to hold this, and we're going to do so for about 6 months. And that really puts a damper on the business, especially when you weren't expecting it. So things like that you got to think about. If you want to add affiliates to your programs in Thrivecart, super easy to do. Joint ventures as well. They have a whole section for it, very easy to manage. Now let's go to the fulfillment section. And you can define, obviously, what happens after the person purchases. Do you want to take them to a page, a membership site, add them to a membership site, or display their total, or just the invoice after they're done? Then what's going to be the support email? Go to checkout, and you can design what the checkout page looks like. If you want to have two-step checkout, if you want to embed it on your actual web pages like we do, or if you want to have it be a standalone checkout, all that stuff is in this launch editor. I'm not going to go into that right now. But this part right here, this is where a lot of the money is made and lost, and a lot of the experience is created or not when people buy. These are all the behaviors that we add upon someone purchasing that offer. So, or not purchasing, cart abandon, which you definitely want to have on your offers wherever possible. You want to know how many people are landing on the offers, and then when they don't, and then when they land on them and they don't purchase them, you want to flag those cart abandons and be able to follow up with those folks. On purchase, we add people to the product tag purchased AYV University 797 annual. On purchase, we also add them to our full all AYV subscribers list. On purchase, we add them to a tag that says product purchased AY University. You may think, well, didn't we just do that up here? No. Okay. What we're doing here is we're saying anybody who purchases AY University gets this tag. Right here, we're saying the specific AYV University offer they purchased was the 797 annual. Why does this matter? This matters because what happens one day when we've done a year from now, right? A year or two from now, we've done 3, 4 different offers at different times. Like we got the original launch offer, we have the day-to-day offer, we got a Black Friday offer maybe that we did. Like who knows what we've done. We want to have a tag that is anybody who's ever purchased AYV University at any in any deal at any price point. And then we want the separate tags for the people who've bought particular offers for that particular university that we can, if we want to speak to just the people for Black Friday 2023 who purchased, we want to be able to do that. So that's what these tags are about. Product refunded AYV University. A lot of people miss these. The refunds, the cancellations. What happens, especially when you have a membership, for somebody who bought the thing, they automatically got access through your automation into the membership site, and then they decide they're going to refund or cancel. And now you got to manually go in and remove all those folks. It is a hassle unless you think through that on the front end and you actually have tags that are built into the system that when somebody applies a refund or when somebody gets canceled, that tag automatically applies. When that tag automatically applies, it sends a trigger to Zapier. Zapier then automatically removes them from the membership site. These little things add up. And these little things are the stuff that's skipped by a lot of people when they're going through. People just think about the marketing and the sales side. They just want to get the product out. They just want to make money, but they don't think about the day-to-day automation and managing the fulfillment that keeps this from being a whole nother job for you. And for that, you need to have technology infrastructure or people on the team who can think through all that stuff and implement it. I've got a full-time design and dev team. Took a long time to get here. I'm also an engineer. You know, that's what my degree is. Even though I've never worked in engineering, I think like a robot. So when I'm doing an offer, even though, yeah, I want to generate 50, 100 grand or more on the launch, I'm not just thinking about the money. I'm thinking about the fulfillment and how we're going to manage these people. Once we get 100, 200 people inside the offer, that's 200 people you now have to manage. And you want the automation in place so those folks and the day-to-day management of that offer don't become a nightmare. You want to have stuff for what happens if somebody's trying to buy later or they have bought the thing and they're looking to renew and it gets declined. Oh, I'm sorry, that's down here. Recurring gets fails, gets declined, or they're trying to buy on the first side and it gets declined. You want to have automation in place where you can follow up with those people with context-specific emails that say, "Hey, Thomas, we noticed that you were trying to purchase, but something might have gone wrong. You know, do we need to give somebody need to give you a call to help you through it?" Because a lot of times people will just forget they were excited in the moment, some decline, and they went in and got busy. So you want to be able to follow up with people where it makes sense. And then expired card, as you can see, when the card expires, it's check-in 1 day after it expires, automated follow-up that says, "Hey, Thomas, your card expired. You probably want to just update that in the system." A lot of times people have the best intent to continue doing business with you, and they just, they didn't get around to fixing the card that got expired. And then, a month goes by and they're like, well, I really don't use the thing anyway. Let me just, probably not renew it. However, if the thing was available right then and told them, hey, your card just expired. Did you want to take care of that? It's like, man, these people are on it. Yeah, let me go ahead and take care of that. So all of this just allows you to continue to present yourself as a diligent business owner, which is always a good thing. And last but not least, I'm going to walk you through Zapier really quick. Zapier is an automation software that allows you to take triggers, things that happen. And when those things happen, Zapier then creates an action in another software platform based on that. And all of those things that you saw, like product canceled, excuse me, go back, all those different triggers that you saw in Thrivecart, those are behaviors for when something happens, it sends a message to somewhere else to do something. So when a product is canceled, when that tag for product canceled gets applied, remove access to Circle. Circle is the membership site. When a product gets purchased, grant access to Circle. When a product gets refunded, remove access. All of these little details are the automations that we're putting in place so that a human being doesn't have to be employed in your company to do these things. And it's one little step, right? But a lot of folks just don't know how to integrate Thrivecart with Zapier, with ActiveCampaign, with Word, like all the different things that we do. Once you've got a framework in place and SOPs, it becomes easy. But getting to that place is actually not that easy. All the documentation and also the technical know-how to get this stuff done. So I'm going to pop into one of these for granting access. And super simple. When somebody purchases, for example, the AYV Inner Circle program, that's like their higher ticket mastermind. Excuse me. It's literally two steps. When that trigger happens, so this is Zapier that's watching. Zapier is basically watching for anything to happen in ActiveCampaign. When this tag is added in ActiveCampaign, invite this member to Circle. And let me pop in here so you can see the tag. The tag is product, purchased AYV Inner Circle. This is the event inside the system. And it's watching ActiveCampaign for a tag to get added or removed. So if that tag gets removed, it removes them from the Circle system the same way that it adds them when the tag is applied, basically when somebody purchases. So this was a little bit of the background in terms of the technology infrastructure. How do we go from the initial list and the tags that go, the list submission and the tags that go along with that, to the custom fields once somebody submits a form, date that they submitted the form, the number of days since they submitted that form, so we can always be tracking those actions and send context-specific, time-specific, individual user-specific follow-up that has them feel special and seen and heard and understood when they finally do purchase. In Thrivecart, how do we have the behaviors automatically created inside the system, waiting in ActiveCampaign for different user states that pop up: refunded, canceled, purchased, failed rebill, whatever it might be, so that those automations automatically fire. And it's one less action a human's got to take, 5 less actions a human's got to take, 10 less actions a human's got to take. You can think through all of this stuff on the front end and just have it be part of your system. Every single offer that we produce has all these tags and more, because we know we're selling memberships. We know that eventually that membership is going to renew. What happens when they don't pay? What happens when they want a refund? What happens when somebody cancels? What happens? These things are predictable happenings, and we can plan for them right up front if we take the time to do it. And yes, it's tiring. Yes, it can be exhausting, but if you got a framework, you don't have to think about it newly. You just are checking things off a list. And if you hire somebody who knows how to do all this stuff, it's even better. Now, you don't have to think about it at all, but you got to be very careful, because people will tell you that this is what they do. But when you get under the hood, it is not. It is like a fraction of this, or not this at all. They're just saying they do everything, but they're really just focused on the marketing sales. In my experience, most people are not focused on fulfillment. They're not focused on maintenance. They're focused on marketing and sales. If they can make you a bunch of money, why should you be complaining? But they need a sales team to do it. They need a bunch of sales calls, and there's nothing wrong with that stuff. But some of us want to be able to produce large amounts of revenue and serve large amounts of people while having the automation behind it that does not require you to build a big team or to spend a lot of time. And that is exclusively what I focus on. So if that's you, I hope that these trainings, these breakdowns that I've been giving you have been useful. Tomorrow, we are going to cover, let me open up my screen real quick. This is going to be fun, y'all. So tomorrow we are getting out of the technical elements that we've been in today, and we're getting back into the right brain stuff. Going to be talking about storytelling. I use a very particular storytelling framework that that I've honed in over many years to do the emails inside of my different campaigns, and then those same stories from the emails are then repurposed as social media posts, and they have a high degree of virality to them. We had several posts inside of this launch that went viral immediately, and there's a reason why. You know, human stories never fail, but in the big scheme of things, a lot of people don't tell stories. They just do the, hey, you know, we're going live at 9 p.m. Make sure you jump on. Hey, we just went live. Hey, the offer just dropped. Make sure you jump on. Oh, it's a discount. That only goes so far. You got to tell human stories that have people say, man, that guy was just like me. Or man, that lady, like she had a story that's similar to mine and she made it through. You want to tell stories. It puts people in a different side of their brain, but you want to couple those stories with amazing offers, with the technical detail on the background. That's what drives big numbers on warm network, existing audience campaigns. All right, so we're going to talk about that tomorrow. It's going to be a good time, and I hope that I see y'all then. Y'all take care.